The gladius flipped in the air. Remaining at hip level, the blade spun before the hilt slapped into the calloused palm. Then the wrist snapped, and the sword rotated again, almost as if fixed on an axle. "Tribune," a centurion inquired. "Throw javelins?" "Hold them," Alerio directed. He flipped the blade again. Whereas some people tossed a coin nervously while waiting, Tribune Sisera flipped his gladius. "Hold." It was not the situation making him anxious. Although with 2,000 Carthage mercenaries coming over a low hill, he had good reason to be apprehensive. The idea of fighting blade against blade and shield against shield did not bother the Tribune. It was not participating in the violence of the shield wall that ate at his soul. "Stand by 2 javelins," he instructed. "Stand by 2 javelins," his 6 centurions repeated. The ready order filtered through the ranks of infantrymen as NCOs, squad leaders, and pivot men echoed the instruction. "Stand by 2 javelins," a voice commanded from Alerio's right. The speaker was Marcus Flamma, tribune of 2nd Maniple's right side. Like the path traveled by Alerio's directive, Tribune Flamma's order shot through the other half of the Maniple formation. Then Flamma raised his left arm, stared around the limb, and gazed across the distance at Alerio. Marcus Flamma appeared to be a model of nobility and an example of a fine staff officer. He was both, and no one could argue the statue-worthy imagery unless they noticed his hand. It floated beside the red horsehair-combed helmet, trembling from fright. Alerio bowed to his counterpart, sheathed his gladius, and reached for the sky with his right hand. With arms held high, the 2 staff officers from 2nd Maniple watched and waited. A mounted junior tribune rode up and reined in his horse. "Tribune Sisera, Senior Tribune Iterum sends his compliments," announced the youthful staff officer. "He would like you to stop holding and throw the cursed javelins. Right now, as in this very instant." Alerio jutted his chin forward and studied the horde prancing across the field and the empty hills behind them. Then he glanced over his arm at the young officer. "Please inform Senior Tribune Iterum that his 2nd Maniple will throw our javelins when the enemy is within range," Alerio told him. "Please, return to the headquarters staff and let me concentrate." The teen nobleman jerked his horse around and trotted for a break in the ranks of 3rd Maniple. Flamma bobbed his head in Alerio's direction, soliciting permission for his half of the Maniple to throw their javelins. Indicating no, Alerio responded with one abrupt shake of his head.